Hi all, I am Bob,
And I'm Rosie.
and we are from Cruise Planners, Cielo Travel, and today we want to talk to you about Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas, which is a Quantum class cruise ship. We recently got the chance to experience this ship when we were on a New Zealand cruise that departed from Sydney, and it was a 10-night cruise, and the ship holds about 4,900 passengers, but we're not going to talk to you about the cruise that we went on. Specifically, we want to talk to you more about the cruise ship in this video. In some other videos, we'll talk to you about the cruise that we went on and some of the ports that we stopped at. So the first thing we wanted to talk to you about is some of the add-on packages. They have the key, the ultimate dining package, the beverage package, and then the Wi-Fi package. And the key does include the Wi-Fi package, but if you just want the Wi-Fi package by itself, there's an option for that.
Okay, so the first one we're gonna talk about is the key. We did get this one because we liked what we could get. So the first thing that we had with the key was priority check-in and boarding. That was really nice because we got to board whenever we were ready to board. And we had a welcome lunch in the main dining venue on embarkation day. It was a very nice special menu for us. And also they have a priority luggage drop-off. We had our carry-ons with us, but we were able to drop them off at the entrance of the restaurant, and they will take it to the to our cabins. So that was a nice thing that they did for us, instead of us dragging the suitcases all over the ship. Now, the other thing was reserved seating at selected shows. We didn't use that very much because the seating is on the second floor. So we like to watch our shows from the bottom and closest to the front. So we didn't really use it that much, but it's a nice thing to have. They also have the internet, includes the internet, the Wi-Fi, which is really nice. And we have a priority departure, and our suitcase, because they were labeled with the key, they were set right as we came off the ship. Our suitcase was right there, so it was very easy to disembark. Okay?
Yep. Okay, and so the next thing I want to talk to you about is some of the the ultimate dining package in particular, and why we purchased it. So a few of the reasons why we purchased it is just the feeling of being special. We experienced that on some of the other cruises we went on, where we got to go skip the line, go straight to the front. There was like a designated seating area and all that. We didn't really have that option with Royal Caribbean, and so unless we upgraded maybe to a suite, which we didn't have in this case, so we want to try to duplicate that without upgrading to a suite. So, and then we also thought maybe better food options. And so there's 4 dining options that we had with this ultimate dining package. There was Uzumi, which was a Japanese restaurant, Jamie's Italian, Chops Grill, which is more like a steakhouse, and then Wonderland, which was an Alice in Wonderland themed restaurant.
So let's talk about Izumi, the Japanese restaurant. Oh, great food, great service. The view, it's like in the middle of the ship, right? Mm-hmm. So you have the view of the deck below, which I believe is deck 4. So we're in the restaurant in deck 5, so we could see the deck 4 below. So it was great for people watching, and the food was really, really good. We ended up going there several nights for dinner and for lunch.
Yep. And okay, so Wonderland, as I mentioned before, it's an Alice in Wonderland themed restaurant. So there's a few photo ops there in the front. There's a big chair there you can get some photos from. And then inside the restaurant, they also have some nice photo ops in there too. So it's more about the presentation. The food was really good too, but at Wonderland, it's more about the presentation. Here you can see that there is this smoky dish there, and it was, I think, the bird's nest or something like that, and they had these deviled eggs that was on this little nest looking bottom there. So it was like kind of like some strawy kind of food.
So it was more like an experience.
Yes.
The whole event was an experience. It's lengthy, so if you're gonna go there, just make sure you don't have a show after, because that could be a problem.
Yeah, it was about a 2-hour endeavor. So it was nice though. The food was really good. We enjoyed the food. The presentation was nice too. This was the liquid lobster. It was pretty good, but you just get like a taste of that. And there's a bunch of things that they put out in the beginning there, just appetizers, just to get a little taste of everything. And they had this thing. I'll show you a little video. It's called The World, and it was kind of cool that you can. They have this. They pour this hot caramel over it, and it just kind of melts it. And so it was kind of fun to watch them present it, and then it was pretty tasty too. And then, so as far as the view, there really wasn't any view. I wanted to show you all this because behind Rosie there is a curtain, and you can kind of see through the curtain, those are the lifeboats there. So even if they open the curtains up, it's not really a great view.
Yes, now the Chops Grill, the steakhouse restaurant, again, the food, really good food, the service was great. And the view, again, do we have some view?
Yes.
Yep, that's the view. That's the best view we got. We're right by the window, but that's our view. So as you can see, not really view. And that happened with pretty much all the restaurants. Well, not all the
restaurants. Except for
one.
Jamie's Italian. So Jamie's Italian, great food, great service. And yes, they did have a view there. You can kind of see, if you get a seat by the window, you can actually see outside, and there's no lifeboats that are getting in your way. So here's one of the appetizers, a charcuterie board, really good stuff.
So let's talk about the Ultimate Dining Package and what we thought.
Yep.
Did we feel special? No, unfortunately,
really.
No. There was a lot of issues with the reservations. They could not find your reservation. They kept asking if you had the Ultimate Dining Package. I mean, they had the computer there, they could check, but they kept asking you, and then when you said yes, I do, and I have a reservation, they couldn't find it, so you have to show them in your app, and it was just very confusing, kind of like disappointing that they don't have good records. Now, not all the restaurants are included. The specialty restaurants, you can only have lunch during
the sea days.
The sea days. During the port days, if you happen to come back early to get lunch, you can't. They don't open for the port days. And of course, specialty is the same menu every day. So we pretty much try everything in the menu.
Yeah.
And then the views, that was an issue for us. So they have better views at the Windjammer and the main dining hall.
Yeah.
And there were lengthy dinners in the specialty restaurants. So again, we have a couple of times that we have to leave early because we had a show, and that just, and then we talked to the waiter and I said, hey, can you get us out, because we do have a show. So that's the only thing, but the food was great. It's just the view mainly.
Yeah, mainly view. And it was an experience. Most of them, they really didn't rush you, which was good and bad. Sometimes if you were in a rush, it's kind of tough luck. Couldn't get out of there that quickly. So some of the other dining options, the Windjammer buffet that Rosie mentioned, that's their main buffet. Food was okay. I mean, it's kind of what you would expect at a buffet. It wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't horrible either. Johnny Rockets, again, that's one that was not included in the Ultimate Dining Package. The Windjammer buffet, that's all free, of course. But Johnny Rockets, there is a charge for that. You have to pay for the food there. And then the Doghouse, that was free also. It was free to everyone, not just people that had the Ultimate Dining Package. Kind of nice thing about the Doghouse is they had it right up in the SeaPlex, which we'll talk about in a little bit. It's kind of a nice family area. And so for the kids, if they wanted to go just grab a hot dog really quick, they could. There's a kid there that we saw, and he just was raving about the hot dogs. So that's a good option for kids. And then in the main dining hall, there's two main dining halls. This is one of them. And then here's the other. But again, great views. This is just a shot out the window. One of the times we sat at the main dining hall for breakfast, because the breakfasts are not included in the Ultimate Dining Package either. You have to find another option for breakfast. And there were plenty of other options, But this day we decided to sit in the main dining hall, and just to give you an idea of the waves that we were experiencing that day. Oops, let me go back. It was a pretty high wave day there, but in the dining hall, since it's such a big, massive ship, you really didn't feel it, even though it was pretty crazy looking outside. So, and then in the beverage packages, there's 3 beverage packages. There's the classic, the refreshment, and then the deluxe beverage package. We opted for the deluxe beverage package just because we didn't want to be doing accounting on the ship and just wanted to enjoy ourselves and not worry about how much we were spending. And so we just kind of factored that in from the beginning. But there were a couple problems. They take your SeaPass every time you order a drink. And so sometimes, there was a couple times in particular, we got back somebody else's SeaPass card. And so luckily we were paying attention, but it's definitely seems like it was a problem instead of them just scanning your card and letting you hold on to it. Another thing was the soda fountain cup that they give you. You have to carry it with you. You have to wash it yourself. There's not a lot of refill stations, so you have to know where they are. Starbucks was not included. So they did have a coffee restaurant there at the 270, which was kind of similar to Starbucks. You get some specialty coffee drinks, but Starbucks specifically is not included in the ultimate dining package. You also have to specify that you wanted fresh squeezed orange juice at the main dining hall. And a lot of times they would just bring you over orange juice that was concentrate, not the same, but you have to make sure you get what you're paying for in that deluxe beverage package. And then also the wine selections were somewhat limited at some of the specialty dining restaurants. For example, I was asking for a Chianti at Jamie's, which is an Italian restaurant. You'd think they would have it there, but they did not. So we're a little disappointed with that. And then the next is the Bionic Bar. It's kind of a little bit of a novelty. They have all these different alcohols and mixers hanging from overhead, and there's a little kiosk there you can order your drinks from. You can kind of see me kind of stumbling through this. I had to actually get some tech support at some point, and this guy came over and helped me out there. I couldn't figure it out. And then you can see the robot will just go and get a cup, and it'll go put it in a little thing there and then go grab the alcohol from above, and then it will pour it into the cup there, and then you got to go and go retrieve it yourself. So
it was kind of interesting because it was not clear, like, oh, are you done? I mean, it wasn't clear. It just started kind of flashing and like, okay, should I go stand up? Is it waiting for me? Is it gonna send it? So, and it was kind of like very uneventful for me. It was just, and you know, the drinks, the kind of drinks you can have is like very, very simple. Pretty much mix 2 things and ice, and that was it. So we don't really drink those kind of drinks. So for us, it was not. It was not fun. And every time we passed by, there was not a lot of people. I think it's one of those things that you tried once and then
you don't go back.
Especially if you don't have the package, you just like, I'm not gonna waste my money in that kind of drink.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can see it's a plastic cup.
And that's how much, and that's how much, and that's how much you had to drink, right? It wasn't like it was. I mean, So you know, it was just like.
Yep. If you want any kind of fruit or anything else in your drink, nope. Too bad. You got to go somewhere else. So, anyways, it was interesting to see it happen once, but that was the one and only time we went there the whole time.
So the solarium, this is the adults only pool, and it's a very nice area. It goes all around that's the back of the ship, is it?
I think so.
I can't remember.
That's a good question.
But it's you know, it's in one of the ends of the ship. I can't remember what. But it's very nice. There's even some of the lounges are padded, and they have these big beds that you can lay down. And the pools, do we have pools? Yeah, they have like this like it was like 3 or 4 like pools like in different levels.
Mhm.
And then they have, you can see over there, there's like a bench, so you can just sit in the bench in the water and then just kind of hang out there and order a drink or just hang out there.
Yep. And then on the back here, there's the Sunshine Bar. We got a close up of it, but nice bar. You can just hop out of the pool and go grab a drink and hop back in. We were drinking some drinks from the pool, so that was kind of fun. And we had heard that they will even come serve you in the pool. We only had a chance to experience it one day, like kind of towards the end of the trip. But I think looking back, we probably would have spent a little more time there. Okay, so let's talk about the main pool area next. So they do have a smoking section on the starboard side. Port side is a non-smoking section. There is easy access to the bar. I've got a few bars around the pool area. There were limited seating if you don't want to sit in a lounger. So loungers are sit quite a bit lower, and it's a little bit harder to get up from if you have any mobility issues. So if you're wanting to sit in a seat like this, it's a little bit easier to get up from. You really have to get there a little bit earlier, or kind of get lucky as you're walking through the area and see if you can snag one of those seats. But this is, the outside area. There's 3 pool areas, 2 in the main pool area, and then 1 in the solarium. So they have an outdoor pool like the one here, and then this is the indoor pool area.
Let's talk about the main theater. So there's 3 shows that you can attend to. So the first one that we watched was the Rat Pack Reloaded. Now that one, if you're familiar with the Rat Pack singers, that's exactly, it's a tribute to them. And there were 3 guys, excellent show, very funny, very, very short. It felt really short because it was so good. But then here's me dancing. So let's take a look.
Such a happy individual, oh, that you speak. I wanna go play.
So that was me dancing. Anyways, and then the other show we really, really like, I guess this was my favorite, is that We Will Rock You. It's a tribute to Queen. And if you are familiar with the Queen music, then you will love this one. Let's listen.
Yep.
So as you can see, it's like the outfits are like kind of like a Mad Max meets Queen. I don't know the story. I thought the story was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I would love to see it twice, but it was only on for 2 nights, and I figured that let's give others the chance to see it. But if I couldn't, I would watch it every night. Now the third show is called The Gift. And that one was good. It's more like a Broadway style production, and it was good story, great dancers, great singers. So the main theater was really good.
Yep. Okay, now the bars and the lounges. One of the issues we had was the ballroom dancing was pre-recorded. We've been on some other cruise ships, and they had live performers doing ballroom dance music, and you were able to dance there, and they would actually tell you which type of dance that song was for, which was kind of nice. At the time when we were on that cruise ship, we had no idea about ballroom dancing, and so we actually took a class last summer, and we're trying to learn how to ballroom dance, and then in preparation for this cruise. And then when we got on this cruise, we realized that it was only pre-recorded. It was a little disappointing. So if you're looking for live ballroom dance music, this might not be the best option for you.
And also the other shows, right? The piano. In our other cruises, we love to go sit in the bars and then listen to the guys play the piano and sing.
Yeah.
And we could not find a good performer in this shape. So maybe next time they'll get a little bit better performers there.
Yeah, and overall, just not a lot of great live music options on this one. So, But yeah, here's some of they did have quite a few bars and lounges you could choose from. These are a few of them. And we noticed some people playing games. There's this group that brought their own games there, and just people just kind of hanging out playing games there. So, the casino, we didn't spend much time in the casino, but they did have quite a good sized casino with slot machines, craps, roulette, blackjack, all the typical casino tables and machines that you'd expect.
So the 270, that's the other, well, it is a multi-purpose room used as a theater and also dance classes, bingo, whatever they use it for everything. So do you have a video on this one?
Yep. Yeah.
So this is when we were still in Sydney, the embarkation day. Look at the view. We have over there the view of Sydney. And there's a cafe right next door, the 270 cafe, and they have like little sandwiches and breakfast and coffee. So it's really good for like a snacks or morning if you want to have your breakfast there instead of the main dining room. They also have a bingo, dance classes, and dance parties, which we did take some dance classes there and exercise too. They also do exercise. They do Zumba and some other workouts. And the parties are incredible because what happens with the screens? These
screens up here, they are all transformable. They can put it in any kind of shape there, and you can see there's some arms right behind the screens. They can reconfigure it however. They can bring the blinds down and put projections on the back there. The dance floor itself, they can go up and down. It's quite amazing. And we do have a little video here. There's this dance instructor that we really like, so I'll show you a little video.
Side to side. Head. Shoulder.
So I don't know if you like taking classes or dancing. I mean, this is a place to be and take all the classes in the cruise. They're fun and they're included in your fare. And it's a way to meet people and do some exercise while you're having fun. And also, I forgot to say, the Spectre's Cabaret, that is like the main show in the ship. It's every night, and that one you do have to make reservations for that one. And it's a very Broadway show, with the difference that they use that screen, and then if you see those like where the plants are in those those little planters, they go down and then people come out from there. So it's very cool seeing like lifting and then coming out of there and jumping in there. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then so the North Star, that was another activity you could do. So it's basically a sky deck that this big control arm will take you 300 feet above the water. So it was pretty cool. It's free if you are at a port. If you're not at a port, you have to pay a little bit. We opted to do it at the port because really the only time that we were thinking it'd be nice to see it when you're not at a port is when we were going through the fjords of New Zealand. And so we have a couple images here of the fjords. First, kind of show you, this is us up in the sky deck, kind of looking from down below and kind of get an idea of how far up you go. And so if you are in an area that has quite a bit of scenery, like this is the fjords there, you can imagine how cool it'd be to be up in the North Star sky deck there.
And this is included in your fare, the free one, when you are on port and portage, right? That's when it's included. Make reservations. And if you're gonna go through the fjords, or maybe you're going to, I don't know if the Quantum goes to Alaska, but a place where there's a lot to see and you're just cruising by, make sure you make your reservations as early as you can, because it does get booked. Also, it depends on the weather. So we did have reservations for the fjords, but it got canceled because it was really windy. So we can't look out on that one. But weather happens. But yeah, do make reservations if you wanted to go in in the North Star for a particular time, make sure you make reservations ahead of time.
Okay,
The
so
ripcord. Let me
yes.
talk to you about the ripcord, because if he talks to you about the ripcord via flight, we're gonna be here for another hour. So the ripcord, if you're familiar with, we have one in here locally, and Bob goes to it a lot. This was my first time, so this is me getting ready to go into, and it, what do you call it? This
It's a wind tunnel.
It's a wind tunnel, so it's like a skydiving, but from what?
It's like it's simulated skydiving.
Yeah. So it's just wind, a wind tunnel, and you're just gonna go like a boop, and then the wind kind of lifts you up, and then it's like you're kind of floating in the air, but you know, you're not gonna die. So anyway, so yeah, they were very helpful. The instructors, they're very friendly, very helpful. And you know, they were trying to make you do stuff. I was like, it was hard to move, but it was fun. So that is included in your fare. It's 1 minute included. You think 1 minute is nothing. Well, it feels longer.
Yes.
But it's including your fare one time. If you want to do again, then it's a small fee, right? I think it's cheaper than
it wasn't too bad.
Here.
I think it was like $10 with the key. I think it was a lot cheaper.
With the key you have discounts, so that's another thing for the key. Also with the key, we forgot to say, with the key you get to access early. So off hours, so that was kind of nice to have. And this is over there by the other activities, right?
It's by the flow rider, by the rock climbing wall.
So they're in the one side of the ship. So but anyway, if you have an opportunity, just do it. It was lots of fun.
Yep, that was Rosie's first time ever in the wind tunnel. I thought she did a really good job. This was me.
Yeah, but he's showing a show off, so we're not gonna.
We're not gonna see that. Yes. Okay. All right. So the flow rider. So flow rider is just right behind the ripcord and right in the back of the ship, and you can kind of see this is what it looks like.
So let me interrupt you here. So I was filming that, and I was waiting for him to go into the iFly. So I was like there looking down, and that's what the flow rider, to tell you how close they were. So if you are in the iFly, you can see them.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice little entertainment while you're waiting for your person to go. So this is one of the instructors. You know, if you want to do the stand-up board, you need to prove to them within 2 attempts that you know what you're doing. Otherwise, you need to take a class. But they do have classes there. I think it's a small fee to take the class. And but it looks like a lot of fun if you learn how to do it.
Very impressive if you learn.
Yes. That's what the professionals look like. Now, on the other hand, this is what the non-professionals look like. So this is the first time I've done it. You don't need any training if you want to just kind of do the boogie board. You basically just get on your stomach there, and then they'll just kind of teach you there, and you just kick off from the wall and kind of do your thing. And then after you've been on there for a little bit, then they have you do some weird tricks, and then you fall off and give somebody else a turn. So, but it doesn't take a lot of time to where you can get to the point where you're having fun and you're not falling off all the time. This is I think my second attempt. I was getting a little wobbly there. It had me doing some weird stuff there, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
And this is included in your fare. And this is the only one you can do as much as you want, right?
You can do it over and over. Yep. And you can see right behind it, that's the iFly.
Yeah. So very close.
Yep.
Now the library, we don't have the book.
We have that a little bit later.
Okay, so let's talk about the library. Yes, there is a library, and the library has great views. Do we have video?
Yes.
Look at those views. Oh, one of the days we were on the day we were at the fjords, that was like totally packed because it was super windy. So people went there because they could see, the fjords without being in the wind. But great views, quiet if it's really next to the 270. So unfortunately, the 270 has activities going on every hour.
Yeah,
every
it's pretty
day.
packed, yeah.
So it's like a little loud. So, but if you're okay with that, then visit the library. They have games there too. They have puzzles and they have books. So if you forgot a book, you can borrow a book and then bring it back when you're done. But yeah, beautiful place. A little noisy because of the close proximity to the 270, but it's really nice views there.
Yeah, so maybe just bring some earphones and your favorite music and favorite book, and just chill out and watch the views.
I guess there you go. Oh, there you go.
Here's a rock climbing wall. So they do have a rock climbing wall there. It's something I enjoy doing in my free time, and I was thinking that they would just be really basic routes. They did have some that were a little more challenging, and then some that were good for beginners too. So I think it was a good range of different options there, and so I enjoyed it while I could. That was the one thing, we only found a couple different times when we could do it, and this time I went up twice, and on my third time they said, "Okay, got to get off. It's getting too windy." So that was the only problem. If you are wanting to do it, then try to do it when you can, because there might not be a lot of options.
Yeah, don't wait until the last day, because it could be windy and then they close everything for safety. So onboard activities. So what else to do? They have what they call the SeaPlex. There's a picture of that, and the SeaPlex turns into everything. It could be a laser tag field where they put inflatables so you can hide behind it. And this one is, I think it's what is it? It's badminton, I think. It's a badminton. So then it goes for a couple of hours each activity. So as you can see.
Yep.
So as you can see, that's the badminton. Then when they're done, there's a clock right there that tells you, okay, it's over. That means they pick up and then they put the next thing up. So they have the bumper cars. Unfortunately, we were trying, but unfortunately we did not have time. And when we came, it was already a long line. So because again, you can do it. You can go in, get the ride in the bumper car, and then go out and go again in line. So there was a lot of kids and families doing it. So we didn't have a chance. But they have archery, roller skating. Roller skating we did do. That was really fun. But if you haven't done in a while like we did, I mean, it's quite. I forgot. It's really good exercise and it's really fun, but it takes. It's tiring.
Yep.
Half an hour. I was thinking that's not enough. Oh, it was more than enough.
Yeah, but it kind of brought us back to our childhood of going to the roller skating rinks and doing all that. So it's cool.
That's archery. So I gave it a try. It's harder than it looks like.
But Rosalie, I thought she did a pretty good job. She actually hit one of the targets that did, and I didn't see too many people hitting the targets. It's quite tough.
Oh, team nights. So they do in our cruise, because it was 10 days, 10 nights. We had 2 team nights. One was the 70s and the other one the 80s. Here's us, in our 70s gear. But then I thought I was kind of cool. I was prepared, but this is nothing.
Yes.
People goes all they go all in wigs and shoes and outfits. I mean,
matching outfits.
Matching outfits was very funny. So and then you took them. Sometimes during the day they do dances on the 80s or the 70s, and then they teach you how to dance. And then at night on the 270 they have these parties, and they're incredible. The dancers are there, they're dancing with you, they're showing you the steps that you learned earlier in the dance class, and it's just super fun.
And so even if you've never danced before, if you got 2 left feet, they will show you what to do, and it's a lot of fun, even if you're kind of stumbling through it with everyone else. So the balloon drop, the last night of the cruise, they do this balloon drop on Royal Caribbean, and it's kind of cool. I'll just kind of run the video here, but they have all these balloons you can see overhead, and I'm going to forward through it a little bit. They have like the DJ up there, and they've kind of hyping all the crowd up, and then when they, I'm going to back it up a smidge there. Yep. So there you go. You can kind of see there's all the balloons coming down, and people will pop them down on the bottom there, so it almost sounds like a fireworks show, but it's kind of cool to watch. It was very crowded though, because you could imagine 4,900 passengers, your fellow passengers, all trying to crowd in this little area here. So you really had to get there early, and then you had to wait for a long time too. So if you did not want to stand for that long, you're kind of out of options. You had to kind of stand way in the back if you got there late. So, but it was cool to see. Probably the only time that we'll ever go watch that on Royal Caribbean. Next time, I think we'll go hang out at some other place while everyone's watching it.
Final thoughts.
Yep.
So, what are your thoughts? You want to
So
go first?
I would. The nice thing is there was a lot of activities. I felt like we were never bored. There was always they had scavenger hunts and some other games. You could go to these lounges and bars and just kind of
trivia,
that sort of thing. Yeah, we had a
and
lot
then
of fun
classes, dancing classes. Those are a lot of fun. So if you've never taken a dancing class, especially in a cruise, you should do it because they are fun. And then you realize how you have you're not good at it. You have to lift it. So it's very fun. So try it out. And we liked it. We enjoyed it. It was a big ship. So what else? It's big, so there's lots of walking. We were traveling with 2 people in their 70s, and that was an issue. I mean, there was activities in every end, like dinner was in one side of the ship, and then the show was on the other side. So that was a lot of walking for these people in their 70s. So something to consider, lots of walking. The bigger the ship, the mobility options you need to have if you have problems with walking long distance. Crowded. Do you feel crowded?
Like sometimes it felt crowded if they're especially for the the balloon drop. That was one thing because everyone was clustered into a little area. So I think just in general, anytime there was some kind of event that attracted a bunch of people, it felt crowded. But the rest of the time, I don't feel like it felt that crowded.
No, and it's Royal Caribbean is for families, so there were families, there were lots of kids. So if you're going to Royal Caribbean, just be prepared. There's going to be lots of kids. And what else? The ballroom dancing for us. It's just we don't.
That was a disappointment.
That was a little disappointment for us. But I mean, there was other things we fill our time with. Will we travel Royal Caribbean again? Probably.
Yeah. I think we had a good time. Yeah, it was a nice, beautiful ship, and lots to do. So.
Okay. So when you are ready to make your dreams come true, give us a call.
Yep, we'd love to help you out. And as always, blue skies and happy travels.